he's super smart. He's getting better and better and better. We seen what happened with Rolly, and he's just a animal. He's a monster.
Determine for yourself if you've outgrown a situation. Yeah. Don't let other people tell you that you've outgrown that situation. You determine for yourself.
The boxing world was stunned after Gervonta Tank Davis reportedly left his longtime coach and team to join Team Benavidez. Reacting to the move, Jose Benavidez Sr. praised Tank, calling him a true beast inside the ring. At the same time, Showbiz the Adult revealed that Davis has officially teamed up with Benavidez Sr. for his next fight camp, with a return expected around September or October. He explained that Benavidez Sr.'s social media posts showing Tank training and appearing in promotional content are strong signs that the partnership is official. Showbiz also said there is no way those posts would have been shared without Tank's approval, proving he is fully committed to the new team. He added that Davis and the Benavidez family have respected each other for years, making this partnership a natural and expected step.
To know about Gervonta Tank Davis going over to the Benavidez's. That's right, Jose Benavidez Sr. to coach him for his next fight in the fall. And we're talking about October, September at the earliest. And it's official. He's going over to Jose Benavidez Sr., the father of Jose Benavidez Jr., and most notably, the father of David Benavidez. Monstro!
Showbiz the Adult also explained what Gervonta Davis can expect after joining Team Benavidez, emphasizing the close family environment and the intense training style that has become the team's trademark. He said the camp offers everything a fighter needs, including quality recovery, equipment, and comfortable living arrangements, allowing athletes to stay fully focused on training. Showbiz also pointed to Ryan Garcia's success under Jose Benavidez Sr., saying his achievement of winning the full WBC welterweight title shows how effective the training system can be. He added that Davis is expected to sharpen his ability to create openings, time his counters more accurately, and improve the technical skills that Team Benavidez is well known for developing.
To Team Benavidez, listen, dude, I have personal experience training with those guys and their product in that gym. And I'm telling you, man, what jumps out more than the facility itself and the hyperbaric chambers and where you can recover, and of course the food. I mean, it's just chef-kissed, beautiful food over there. They definitely getting their grub on. But more than that, more than all of that, is really the family culture. Once you become a part of that team, you're like family. They even have living rooms and bedrooms and kitchens and restrooms, and you can literally live there if you're coming from somewhere else. I mean, it's a huge ranch. They have places for you to stay and play video games and all that stuff just to stick around, because the family culture is like the biggest part of being there and what makes Team Benavidez unique. But on top of all of that, it's the work ethic.
After weeks of speculation, Gervonta Davis appeared to confirm his move to Team Benavidez through an Instagram story, showing that he is ready for a new chapter in his career. He made it clear that he wants to be surrounded by dedicated people who will challenge him every day and help him improve. Davis described the decision as a long-term commitment to working with a team that shares his mindset, strong work ethic, and drive to compete at the highest level. He stressed that the move is about personal growth and becoming a better fighter, not just making a short-term change. Tank also made it clear that he is ready to put in the work with a team that will keep him focused, push him to improve, and help him reach his full potential. Another detail that adds to the growing speculation is Calvin Ford's recent interview, where he avoided giving direct answers about Gervonta Davis's current training camp and possible return date. Instead, Ford compared the situation to the launch of a new product, saying he preferred to keep everything private until Davis was ready to make his own announcement. He also made it clear that he was not going to speak on Tank's plans or ask questions about his next move, because Ford has been Davis' longtime trainer. His careful and indirect responses have sparked even more discussion about where their relationship stands today, leaving many fans wondering if the two are still as closely connected as they once were.
Everyone would think would be his inevitable return to the ring this year.
Well, we real secretive of what we're doing to let everybody know, because the way how we looking at it is we don't let anybody know what we're doing. I'm not going to ask questions about Gervonta because Gervonta is rolling out like a new product. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is waiting for his return. You know what I'm saying? So that's the expense that we want to keep it at. When he return, everybody going to know it. You know, he will he would put it on his social media because every time when he tweet, everyone listen. He's like EFF. When he say something, he means it, you know. So right now, he's been doing what he needs to do to stay fit, to stay sharp and whatnot. Because we have this system. Don't come see me out of shape, because I ain't gonna care about that.
Following the announcement, Jose Benavidez Sr. gave Gervonta Davis a warm welcome to the team and praised him as one of the most dangerous fighters in boxing today. He described Tank as a powerful force inside the ring, saying he continues to improve with every fight. Benavidez Sr. pointed to Davis' impressive performances and dominant victories as proof of his elite ability. Looking ahead, he predicted that Davis would defeat Isaac Cruz in a rematch by stoppage, explaining that Tank performs on a completely different level than most fighters. He also said that Davis' mix of knockout power, ring IQ, and experience makes him a nightmare for any opponent, adding that he only becomes more dangerous as his career continues.
I'm a Mexican. I like Pitbull, but I think Gervonta will stop him on the next fight. My opinion, he's super smart. He's getting better and better and better. We seen what happened with Rolly, and he's just an animal. He's a monster.
Meanwhile, Shawn Porter shared his thoughts on Gervonta Davis joining Jose Benavidez Sr.'s team, saying the move came as a surprise. He wondered how Benavidez Sr. would manage his time and attention if he had to prepare both the main event and co-main event fighters at the same time. Porter suggested that Davis may have been attracted to the camp because of its familiar environment, demanding training style, and history of developing aggressive high-level fighters. He also questioned whether the partnership would be successful, considering Tank's long relationship with his previous team. At the same time, Porter acknowledged that Davis likely had a strong reason for making the change, and may have been looking for an environment that better matched what he needed at this stage of his career.
How does that work? I'm not sure if that's a great matchup.
I feel like there's some comfort.
Is that what it is?
I feel like that's what it is. I feel like there's some
They
comfort.
both.
He's down in Florida, if I'm not mistaken.
Miami, yeah.
It's Washington,
Yeah, he's between
Seattle,
and
Washington,
Florida.
Florida, Arizona,
Yeah.
Vegas.
He be everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which might match the lifestyle of Gervonta Davis, But,
Yeah, surprising to see it. I think, but I feel like he's comfortable with Jose, and just telling y'all what I know. Sometimes that's all it takes. Whatever's gonna get this light flip up, turned on, and keep it on. Sometimes it's comfort. I just need somebody that I feel comfortable with, that I can be myself with, and that when I'm ready to move, they moving. When they ready to move, I'm moving. And I feel like he thinks he has that with Jose.
Shawn Porter also spoke about Gervonta Davis's decision to part ways with Calvin Ford, encouraging fighters to trust their own instincts. When deciding if it's time for a change, instead of listening to outside opinions, he shared that he once faced similar advice about possibly outgrowing his own father as a trainer, but said he made that decision based on what he believed was best for his career. Porter admitted that he does not know all the details behind the split between Davis and Ford, but emphasized that Tank must take full responsibility for the direction of his career. He added that every fighter's journey is different, and the most important thing is for Davis to choose the path that feels right for his own future.
Determine for yourself if you've outgrown somebody. Don't let other people tell you that you've outgrown somebody.
All right.
he's saying shut your ass.
Listen, no. Listen. Determine for yourself if you've outgrown a situation.
Yeah.
Don't let other people tell you that you've outgrown that situation. You determine for yourself. This is what in my personal life, what I learned is I did everything that I could do, and everything. My dad taught me. My dad taught me, until you exalt every option that you have, you got more that you can do. And that, I don't know the story. I don't know what's going on, but
Right.
just from my personal experience and right there, I've had people tell me, like, maybe you're outgrowing your dad. I allow myself to determine whether or not I was outgrowing my dad, outgrowing certain situations. List goes on. So I'm just
Moving on, Gervonta Davis took several shots at Devin Haney on social media, calling for the fight to finally happen and claiming that he has always been ahead of Haney throughout their careers. Tank brushed aside Haney's recent achievements, saying he has been competing at a higher level for much longer and promising to prove who the better fighter is once they meet in the ring. He made it clear that he wants to settle their rivalry once and for all. Davis also posted on X, saying, "Trying to lock one in RN, I'm trying to see what's really good," hinting that discussions for his next fight are underway. In response, Devin Haney confirmed that Gervonta Davis' team had reached out about a possible fight, suggesting that the long-awaited matchup could finally become a reality. However, Haney rejected the idea that he would simply agree to any terms, making it clear that the negotiations would have to be fair for both sides. Haney also denied the rumors about agreeing to a rehydration clause, making it clear that he never accepted or even discussed those terms. He urged fans not to believe misleading reports from unreliable sources, saying the situation is far more complicated than many people think. While Haney confirmed that Gervonta Davis' team is now seriously interested in making the fight happen, he stressed that he will not accept any deal that puts him at a disadvantage. Devin posted on X saying, "I think Gervonta grew some balls. His team reached out. We might just end up fighting." He later followed up with another post, writing, "Did you clearly see me say I would never agree to that? Don't believe these clickbait fake bloggers." His comments reinforced the message that negotiations are ongoing, but any agreement must be based on fair terms rather than online rumors. Bill Haney also backed up his son's statements, making it clear that no one has ever discussed a rehydration clause with Devin Haney during the current negotiations or at any time in the past. He insisted that those conditions have never been included in any of Devin's fight talks and strongly rejected reports claiming otherwise. According to Bill, the Haney team has always been consistent on this issue and has no intention of accepting a rehydration clause in the future. He dismissed the rumors as false and made it clear that they will continue to stand by their position. Bill later posted on X, saying, "Nobody has ever attempted." Bill Haney finished by stating, "Nobody has ever attempted to negotiate a rehydration clause with me. Not now, not ever," firmly rejecting the rumors. Gervonta Davis quickly responded by dismissing Devin Haney's effort to set the terms for a possible fight. Tank argued that Haney is not in a position to control the negotiations and suggested that Bill Haney is the one making the important decisions behind the scenes. He also warned Devin that if he wants the biggest payday of his career, he will have to accept Davis' terms. Tank made it clear that he believes he has the stronger negotiating position and will not allow anyone else to dictate the conditions. In a sharp post on X, Davis wrote, "You don't want to come in at 160. You're not in the driver's seat making it." Clear that he expects Haney to follow his lead if the fight is going to happen. Tank Davis continued his exchange by insisting that Devin Haney is not in control of the negotiations, arguing that if Haney wants the biggest payday of his career, he will have to accept the terms being offered. Tank also suggested that Bill Haney is the one leading the discussions behind the scenes rather than Devin himself, making it clear that he believes he holds the stronger position in the talks. Meanwhile, Errol Spence Jr. shared his thoughts on a potential showdown between Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney, calling it an excellent fight and one of the most exciting matchups that could be made in boxing today. He said the contest would be important for both fighters and the division, adding that it is the kind of fight fans have been waiting to see. Spence also discussed other upcoming bouts, but made it clear that a Davis vs. Haney clash stands out as one of the most compelling fights on the boxing calendar.
The Haney versus Tank of the potential fight. What do you think of those two fights at the moment?
Said
Broly and Tio, and then possibly Haney and Tank.
I feel like Broly and Tio, that's a good fight. And the Haney and Tank, that's a great fight too.
On the other hand, Eddie Hearn said it is difficult to predict what version of Gervonta Davis will return to the ring after his long period of inactivity and the personal issues he has dealt with outside of boxing. He described Davis as a once-in-a-generation talent, but believes that if both fighters are at their best, Devin Haney may have a slight advantage because of his consistency, discipline, and active career. At the same time, Hearn admitted that a fully focused and motivated Davis has the ability to beat anyone. He explained that the uncertainty surrounding Tank's current situation is what makes the matchup so hard to predict, adding that Haney's professionalism and experience in high-profile fights could play a major role if the two eventually meet in the ring.
I mean, look, you just don't know how Tank's going to come back. When did he last fight?
March against
So a year and a half? I mean, longer time he gets, say the fight happened in November, December, like a year and a half, and he's been through a lot. But Tank is an unbelievable talent. He's a generational talent. If it's prime v prime, I don't like backing against Devin Haney, but I don't think it's a good fight. It's a good fight.
I guess you're not going to answer the question, huh? Like
who wins?
Like who would you lean towards? Who would you slightly favor? Like 51-49, the smallest.
Devin Haney, for his professionalism and his discipline. But Tank is a phenomenal fight. I just don't know what if it's Tank at his very best, maybe Tank. But right now, with not knowing how Gervonta's been living, I just don't know anything about him.
Eddie Hearn also questioned whether a fight between Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney will actually happen, saying there are still major challenges, including finding a weight that works for both fighters. He added that Shakur Stevenson would be a more difficult stylistic matchup for Haney, although he is not sure Haney is eager to take that fight right now. Hearn also believes that a rematch between Ryan Garcia and Haney makes more sense because of their history and the strong pay-per-view numbers it could generate. As for a Davis versus Haney showdown, he said the fight remains uncertain due to Tank's long layoff and recent lifestyle questions, making it difficult to judge what level he will be at when he returns to the ring.
This is the problem. Shakur Stevenson is unbelievably good, right? And no one really wants to fight him. Yeah, he's done a deal with Zuffa. He's getting 20 million a fight, and they will have to put him in a big fight against a big name. But I don't think Devin's going to want to fight Shakur.
You don't think so?
Not really. No, I don't know.
I don't know about that.
No, I mean he might do, but also the weight thing, right? So Devin, you see, where Shakur makes a little bit of a mistake is it's different against Devin to it is against Conor Benn. But he's saying, Conor Benn, there'd have to be a rehydrate. Conor Benn could come into the ring 190 pounds against Shakur Stevenson. He just wouldn't beat him. Devin's a bit different because he's a guy with very, he's a high skill set. But I just don't see that fight happening. Like I said, for me, the easiest fight to make is Ryan against Devin.
Eddie Hearn also expressed doubts that Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney will meet in the ring anytime soon, explaining that agreeing on the right weight remains one of the biggest obstacles. He said Shakur Stevenson could be an even tougher opponent for Haney because of his fighting style, but questioned whether Haney is interested in taking that challenge at this stage. Hearn also believes that a second fight between Ryan Garcia and Haney is the more realistic option, pointing to their rivalry and the huge pay-per-view interest it would likely attract. As for a matchup between Davis and Haney, Hearn said there are still too many unanswered questions, especially because of Tank's extended break from boxing and uncertainty about his current form, making the fight difficult to predict or finalize, semicolon.
Well, he did with Tank, he did a lot of things well, be able to stand in there with a power puncher like that right in the pocket, slip and counter, like a lot of guys wasn't willing to do with Gervonta Davis at the time. People consider him one of the best fighters in the pound for pound list. It was the top at 135. So now that we put a game plan together and Lamar executed and countered and made Gervonta pay for the mistakes that a lot of people were scared to make him pay for, the mistakes we saw, the mistakes we capitalized on. But you got to be willing to stand in that kitchen and see it, He was doing some great things, and he was purring off a power puncher right in the pocket, blocking the shots coming back in the line of fire, staring down the barrel of the gun, man, and it was amazing to see. His defense was just...
In the end, opinions remain divided. One side believes Gervonta Davis has earned the right to choose his opponents and pursue the biggest paydays because of his star power and success in boxing. They also see his reported move to Team Benavidez as proof that he is fully committed to improving and taking his career to the next level. On the other hand, critics argue that Davis' long absence from the ring, legal issues, and failure to face top names like Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney have raised questions about his priorities. They believe these factors suggest he has been more focused on protecting his record than proving himself against the toughest competition available. Critics believe Gervonta Davis has been more focused on protecting his undefeated record than building his legacy by facing the toughest opponents available. What is clear, however, is that Devin Haney has publicly shown his willingness to take the fight, while Shakur Stevenson has also made it known that he wants the opportunity to face Tank at the same time. Davis has continued to fuel the rivalry with posts on social media, although his team has yet to provide any official updates on serious negotiations. What do you think will happen next? Share your opinion in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more boxing news, fight updates, and in-depth analysis.